Welcome in, guys, to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. This your boy JustCMTexx. I'm back, and we're gonna go ahead and get into this July tier list. As you can see, we got the new tunes down here. We'll go over them, and then we're just gonna go ahead and get into the tier list here. So what we have here at the bottom is our legacy tunes. As you can see, it's a lot of tunes here. These are just tunes who pretty much are out of the rotation. Now, you may be able to use some of them in like faction assault or something like that, such as Bruce can be used in faction assault. He's really good for faction assault. You know, and you could be able to use them there. But as far as like being meta relevant and being within the flow of RTS and using them on your everyday team, these guys are definitely you know, not there. So this is just the legacy tune list. I didn't want to spend too much time there, but check this out. Look at these guys. You know, if you're using them on your team, that could be part of your frustration because they're just not meta relevant right now. Next on this list is our C tier list. So these are tunes that can be able to help out your team, but they're not going to be mainstays or carriers for your teams. So for example, Dayu can be a little bit tricky on the defensive side where she revives somebody, you know, when you take somebody out. And Skeleton Steve is still used on defensive teams because when you hit him, he applies confuse to your teammates, and sometimes that can be a problem if that confuse go off and it hits one of your damage tunes that decap, they hit one of the other tunes. So you have some scenarios where this work at. Conrad is used within, you know, the game as far as using him, you know, in your tower team and everything. You can make like a little funky team to use him there and stuff like that. Razzo is good, you know, behind a tune, but it's not a tune that's going to stand on its own. So this is the CT list tunes here, you know. And next we have our B tier tunes. Now these tunes are a little bit stronger than our C tier list tunes, but not by a mile. You know, what happens is these guys have a little bit more on their kit that you can be able to use and infuse. So for example, like with Titan, you know, can be able to destroy a tune because he has like 1200% damage on his rush, which is really strong. And he has normalized. He was one of the first normalized tunes within RTS. Really good. You can use him in a team with Trader, and you know, when he applies the normalize, you know, and kills a tune, then Trader gets his rush, and they can kind of have like this back and forth going there. So, you know, that's one of the older metas, but it's still relevant and it still works within RTS today. So you definitely compare Titan with Trader, and that'll work out for you really well. We have Arb on this list. You know, he's a decent tune when you can be able to kind of like get him some boosted stats. You know, if you throw a yellow tune kind of team together, you know, you can be able to boost his stats up, and he can do a lot of damage and things of that nature and stuff like that too. And he kind of helps himself against reflect damage, but he doesn't do it for other tunes. Now, if you put him in a list with a team with Christmas Carol, then, you know, you can be able to kind of do some really strong damage there. So this is the B tier list, and we have a couple of good ones on here too as well. Diamond, you know, she can be a really good control tune and everything like that. Wanderer is really good. Now Wanderer can be as high as the A tier, but the thing is that you just can't control who he's gonna attack, and sometimes he'll go and attack the wrong tune and destroy a team. That becomes problematic. But if he's attacking in the right order, he can be very strong as well too. So definitely want to look at those guys there. Now on to the A tier list. Now some of these guys can be ranked a little bit higher. You let me know down in the comments what your opinion is of the tunes and where you would kind of rank some of them and move them around. Now, so we have Buckless Cow, Ghost, Kenny. Kenny is still strong. You know, he's not as strong as he used to be, but you can still use Kennedy in certain setups and he will absolutely shred. Ghost still shreds. He decaps too. Laupo is funky-ish, you know, really older tune, but when you put her in these teams, you know, behind like a Tyrese and some of the newer tunes like Joshua and things of that nature, you know, she'll kind of confuse your damage tunes, to attack her turn one. Sometimes it goes off, sometimes it doesn't. But when it does, it becomes a total nightmare and could be very strong in that instance there. So we have Marcus here, Andre, Clem, Love Clem, Duck does, some decent damage still as well. Molly is still really good. Sebastian can be a pain in the neck and everything like that when you have him in certain setups. So putting him on a Davy team and stuff like that could be problematic. Then we have Sheldon, and as you can see on this A tier list, we do have Martinez and Tyrese here. Now I know you're like, well, they can be strong. Yes, they can when they're together, but as an individual rank, these guys, one off are not as strong. So Tyrese can be as high as the S tier list. Martinez can be as high as the S tier list as well too. Jesus too. When these guys are kind of put together in the team, they can definitely be stronger. Argus is a good attack tune, war champion tune, so it's hard to get your hands on him, but he does pretty decent damage. Yuletide Ezekiel's here. I was questioning this one with Yuletide Ezekiel, but it's just that from my many times of using Yuletide Ezekiel, his normalized just doesn't go off. It's kind of funky on the screen. It looks like sometimes he's doing it, and then other times it looks like he's not doing it. He's just not consistent with the normalized. For me, could be different for you, but for me, he's just not consistent with normalized. So therefore, he lands here. Could be as high as the S tier as well, and Rhodey can be moved up as well here too. That burn you set up, some nice little burn and bleed setups here and everything, and Rhodey does a lot of damage, and she's very good in faction assault. Now on to the meat and potatoes, this S tier list here. Now, so we have Easter Eva, still very relevant, especially with all these tanks going around. She still can hit pretty hard and do some decent damage. Holiday Carl, control the medics. With so many medics within the meta, he will always be relevant because there are so many medics within the meta. Trader is really good as well there too. Ty is really good. Vance has been around in every single meta. He's just good on defense. He's good on offense when it comes to helping with the control of a line. Very good. Zachary's here. You know why? Because bleed is still very prevalent. We have Brutus. Brutus is very sneaky tune. He can help you control some of these really strong blue defenses as well too. So Brutus there. We have Aris. Georgia is, to me, the better tune when it comes to using normalized. It's guaranteed to work, and it can also target an extra tune as well if they're red. I just find her to be better than Yuletide Ezekiel. So Axel 2000 Carl, we have some really strong tunes. Craig is up here. He could be high as S+, and then we have Jesus, and rounding off this list, Joshua's really good too, and St. Patty Day Rosita's there as well too. Now on to our S+ tier list. So these are the tunes that really set themselves apart within Walking Dead Road to Survival. Davey is the absolute strongest offensive leader in the game. Defensive leader within the game. He's very strong, man. That revive a tune, and you can kind of put some funky defenses behind him, and he's very strong there. Mike, he's been meta relevant forever pretty much. He's really good with that infection. You're definitely gonna need that for some of these much stronger teams as well. Christmas Carol, Peacekeeper, the worst tune ever created, but the best tune when you get him and use him right on your defense, right? Everybody hates Peacekeeper. Circuit, Raven, very strong offensive tune, one of the best design tunes within RTS. Off-Duty Shane, very good leader, still one of the strongest leader months after coming out. Thanksgiving Sophia, shreds. There's no question about it. Now on this list that may be a sleeper is Winter Benjamin. Winter Benjamin is very, very, very good. And a lot of times people don't see him or use him. I use him, in some of my offset teams as well. He's very, very good. Winter Harrison, Zhu, Dr. Denise, Commander John, Infection is very good. Get used to it because you're going to need it to be able to take out some of these teams. Hang in absolutely shreds anything that's on a minor team. And then we have Sarge, one of the absolute best support tunes within the game, if not the best support tune in the game. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Sarge. All right, so now we have these guys here that just recently came into the game. We have Akira, Corvus, Emperor Ezekiel that I didn't get a chance to do last tier list, so we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Now Akira, where's Akira gonna be? S+. Command tune, burn, nightmarish when you put him with Ty and Revolution, Rarlito, and just a couple of other setups. He's very good command tune and everything, and he kind of funky. You can put him on defense, he'll kind of work out a little bit too. Not as strong, but it's very, very good. Corvus is going to land on the A tier list. Corvus is a decent tune, but really, really built for faction assault, and faction assault is one of the best parts of RTS along with war, so he's definitely an A tier list tune. Next we have Emperor Ezekiel. With that trauma coming in, he is going to be really, really good. You're going to need that against some of the stronger tunes, and he does multiple rush attacks. And on top of that, he can also he is a headhunter tune, so he'll get that crosshairs in there and be able to take a tune out as well there too. Father's Day Tyrese, normalized tune, absolute monster, can be able to take out a line, does a lot of damage. He is very, very, very good. Next on this list is Hina. Hina is one of the tunes with the boosted stats that just recently came into the game. She is good as well too. She's land on the S tier list. She's a defensive tune leader, but she gives infection resistance to green and red tunes who are behind her and stuff like that, so that's kind of her setup. She's just really, really, really good, and I've seen some very, very strong teams with her there. And as we continue to go, we'll get a little bit more information on her playing against her in war, but she is very, very good. Next we have Job. Job just came into RTS today, so if you notice, I'm doing the tier list the day he drops, and I think that right now he is going to land on the A tier list. He is going to be really, really good. As we get to play with him, as I get to play with him and see what kind of setups he's going to be in, that's going to help me determine whether or not he's going to be able to move up on the tier list. But Job is there. We have Julie. Julie, we were able to get her. She's an event tune, S tier list. She is a disarm tune, and she does some damage. Her and Tyrese together, father and daughter, absolute nightmare. Princess, nightmare. She's a peacekeeper, but just not to the super level of peacekeeper. She's very, very good. There's ways to be able to defeat her, but if you don't get to her early, lights out. She's very, very strong. Next we have Roland. Roland is a very, very strong boosted stats as well too. Tune that you can put on a yellow team defense, especially behind Davy, and it becomes problematic. Those teams are really hard to deal with. Sheila, she is a tier list tune. She's okay. You can be able to use her on offense and defense. Next we have Stars. Stars was the ultra tune who recently came in the game, S+ tier list as well too. Put him on a Davy team. Good God Almighty, that Davy team is going to be absolutely nuts. Very, very strong there. Next we have Steve. Steve is advanced tune, S tier. That Guardian Shield turn 1 is a lifesaver, and he does some reviving and healing and being able to help your team stay relevant within the rotation of the fight. So Steve is definitely going to land on the S rank tier list. Next we have Stripes. Stripes is an event tune in the game, A tier list tune here with Stripes, because she's going to be very, very good for towers and everything like that. So this is what we have here. This is our tier list for the month of July. This your boy JustCMTexx, man. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Love you, RTS fam. Peace.